my name is Summer Alexander, and I am married, and I have 3 children, 2 of which are college age. My oldest daughter is currently a sophomore in college, and my youngest daughter will be attending college this coming fall, and then I have a 9-year-old son. So one of my biggest concerns has obviously been college funding, and how do we pay for it, and how do I set something in place that makes sure when my kids get out of school, they're not like me, going on 4 years old and still trying to pay off college debt. So that's been like kind of a burden on my shoulders. And part of what I'm taking away from my experience is that there are options for me. It's not too late to put a plan in place to make sure my daughters and even my son, who 9 years from now will presumably be heading to college as well, that they don't have to have the burden of college debt. And that I don't have to die either for them to necessarily have that debt taken away. So I'm, really excited about the plan that Monica put together for me and the impact that it's going to have on not only my life, but the lives of my children as well. So I saw a big change this year with my daughter, who's a sophomore in college. Actually, as she goes into her 3rd year, some of the grant funding that she received the first 2 years will be going away, and that's because of an income change in our household between my husband and myself, which we think of it as being a good thing, but when it comes to funding for our kids, we're actually being penalized for doing well. And so that's been kind of a big frustration for me, because now any grants and assistance that she had prior to that are no longer there, which puts the entire burden of the college expenses on my husband and myself, minus what she does have a little bit money in scholarship. But by far, the burden of her college expenses will now fall on us. So it's almost like as we progress in our jobs and our businesses, we start to do well, our income increases, then we just take on more burden. So it's really a wash. We're not advancing financially because that extra money will now be going to pay the entire school funding. So just having other options in place. God, we always have that saying, if I knew now, if I knew then what I know now, what I have done differently. But
in response to the growing need to find more independent financial resources to fund a college education, while also trying to save for retirement, maintain emergency funds, eat and live in America, our teams have joined forces to bring to you a scholarship roundtable. In our program, your student will not only receive emails with action items and deadlines that they have to execute on their own, but they will be micromanaged by what I like to refer to as an executive assistant, from the point of identifying the most appropriate scholarships for their educational objectives, all the way through delivering the requirements of each scholarship, as well as following up on the scholarship committee's decisions. It is very important that you realize that your student will be required to be in attendance and or available via some form of communication in response to every delivery item of every scholarship. Bring to you a team with over 50 years of experience in financial services and education. I'm Monica Harris, Chief Financial Services Practitioner with Efficient Estates, where we specialize in annuity and life insurance strategies as solutions to financial problems. I am also the founding director of Royal Daughters of God, a socio-economic initiative recognized by the IRS as a 501c3 organization. What I love about Mary is the passion that she has for her students. She has some extremely successful students currently working on their PhDs, as well as a couple of principals of our very own schools in the city of Chicago. She's just absolutely phenomenal, very passionate, and extremely successful at what she does. I pulled this chief team together and designed this program in response to the ultimate goal of my companies. That goal is to establish sustainable generational wealth, In order to do this, we need educated heirs. They need debt-free college educations. Scholarships are great tools for accomplishing this goal. Successfully securing them requires efficient oversight, follow-up, and due diligence. Our priority is to ensure that our students achieve optimum success in identifying, completing, and submitting their college scholarship applications. Environment. So I mean, like, is there anything specific about being in this environment with the small team that we have that helps you with the applications? Is there anything that is different? I mean, would you have applied for, 5 total additional scholarships?
At home?
Yeah, had you not been with us?
Probably not. Well, I know my mom was pushing me to, so I would have probably looked into them, but never actually sat down and worked and went through all of them. Whereas being here, surrounded by people whose focus and whose goal is to help me work on scholarships, it was a lot easier.
How much in scholarships have you applied for?
Around $10,000.
$170,000.
$129,000.
A junior in high school applied for 2 scholarships before her junior year started.
So far.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
It's open to learning, and it's just a good environment. You can get stuff done.
Well, here I'm in an environment where I'm more focused and I can actually sit down and get the scholarships done. Whereas, let's say I was at home, I wouldn't be able to focus. I would be on my phone all the time. I think this helps more, helps me get a lot more done.
Okay.
At first, I did not want to do this. I did it. Since I've started doing it, my mom did force me. I don't regret it. I've got a lot done. And it's very helpful. I'm excited.